Hi everyone, this is Rachel.
And this is Christine. Welcome to The Thrive, a podcast for working moms.
And we're talking to all of the moms out there, working from home, working a 9 to 5, working as a CEO of your household, because at the end of the day, all moms are working moms.
And we invite you to share in our stories, celebrate the victories, laugh through the tough times, get advice, and to know that we aren't alone, to thrive in our everyday life.
Hi everyone, it's Rachel, and this is Christine.
Welcome to all of our listeners. If this is your first time, we're so glad that you're joining us. We are just two moms doing our best in our daily busy lives. Give yourself some time to relax and join because we have lots to share with you.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. So today we're going to be sharing a little bit about putting yourself out there. Obviously, something we've experienced over the past week or two since we launched our first episode last week. It is just crazy how as moms, as women, we overanalyze. So we're going to be sharing a little bit about what our journey's been like since releasing the show and just the process of doing this podcast, putting our thoughts and our voices out there for you guys. And yeah, we have a lot to share. So stay with us. Before we get into that too much, every time we get together, Christine is always like, so what happened this week?
What did your girls do today?
And if you have a toddler, you can probably relate. I just feel like every day they're doing or saying things that make us laugh. So, oh my gosh, of course, I was at my favorite place. I was at Costco. Who doesn't love Costco? But we were going through the store, and like all through the store, my daughter Reagan, who's 2, she kept seeing this little boy with this PJ Masks backpack. And
I don't know what that is.
Christine doesn't have a toddler yet.
No, she's 8 months old, and
Yeah,
she just
not
watches
into
Friends
TV.
along with me. No. What is that?
This is a good question. PJ Masks. So if your kids aren't in like the 2 to 5-year-old age group yet, or if they're past it, maybe you don't know about this show. If they like Paw Patrol, they would probably like it. It's like superheroes.
Okay.
But like, I mean, the song is like, nighttime is the right time to fight crime. Like they fight crime. They fight crime at night, like in their pajamas. Like their pajamas, like they like imagine and...
Okay, I might have seen these characters
Yeah,
before.
they turn into, like the blue one is Catboy, and the green guy is Gecko, and then the red girl turns into Owlette.
I've heard of them before. Okay, so what are they called?
It's called the PJ Masks.
The PJ... Oh!
Like pajama, PJ?
I thought it was PJ like someone's name, like Paul Jacobs.
No. It's like pajamas.
Oh,
that's why like nighttime is the right time to fight crime.
I call them Jam Jams. Okay, I'm with you.
Well, whatever you call your pajamas.
So anyway, you were at Costco.
Yes, we were at Costco, and this show's a big hit. So she kept seeing this little boy with this really cool backpack. And what do you know? Of course, when we're done paying for all of our food, we then buy food at the cafe, and we always get like hot dogs or pizza or whatever, and we usually have lunch there because it's so cheap, you can't beat it.
Love it.
And we sit down, and who is next to us at the table right next to us is this little boy and his mom. So it was so cute. They got talking, and at first she was just being obnoxious, and I was like, Reagan, like at this age, it's funny how you have to tell them like, if you want their attention, like maybe say something nice.
Right.
Instead of just like being a pest. So I was like, why don't you tell him like, that you like his backpack? So of course she was like, hey, I like your backpack. And he was like, oh, thanks. I'm in preschool. And she goes, oh, I'm in the Paw Patrol. It was just great. It was great. She was like, I'm not in preschool, but I'm in Paw Patrol.
Well, I love that was his answer to I like your backpack. I'm in preschool.
Yeah. But the cutest part was, that part just made me laugh. But then the best thing was, as this little boy and his mom left a few minutes later or whatever, like a handful of minutes had gone by. I don't know if they had to go get something, but either way, as they were leaving, they hadn't really said much more to each other than like your backpack, this, that, whatever. And like, they'd been sort of talking about, the show and PJ Masks and whatever. But as they leave, he goes, see ya, Owlette. And she goes, bye, Catboy.
Oh my goodness.
Great. It was really funny.
That.
Like, it was just,
if only we could harness our inner 2-3-year-olds.
Yes.
Probably be a lot more happy.
Oh my gosh, for real. It was just so sweet, and it was great how they were just like on the same page.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, he's in preschool. She's only in the Paw Patrol.
Only in the Paw Patrol.
Not in preschool yet.
They'll meet again on the playground someday, I'm sure.
Yeah. She'll be like, are you that kid with the backpack?
Yes, Owlette.
Yeah.
Man, I just can't believe I thought PJ Masks was the person's name.
No, it's about like pajamas and masks.
I'm learning so much.
Fighting crime.
I'm now ready to have a toddler.
Yes. Oh, you'll learn it quickly because like they go from one show to the next, at least in my household. For you guys listening, I'm sure you're like, oh, your kids watch all this TV. Just kidding, because your kids watch TV too. I think the truth is we all lie to the doctor. I think when the doctors like ask you those like developmental questions, like, so they're not watching more than 47 minutes of television. Like we're all like, no, they totally are.
I'm worried that the doctor is going to ask me about Nora's rolling the next time. Because about the rolling, it's not happening. She rolled once.
But she has rolled.
Once, a month ago. Oh. And now she's just kind of like, I'm good.
Well, yeah, maybe she's just like, she's so confident. She's like, I don't need to practice that. I did it.
And I was so assured myself when I went to the doctors. I'm like, oh, she's not rolling. We're fine. And when the doctor asked me, I was like, no, she hasn't. And then he looked a little concerned. And she was like, oh, maybe you should do these exercises to get her. And I'm like, oh, so this is a thing. Like, I should be working on this.
But you know what? Everyone develops at their own pace because I feel like I have two sisters and it was great. Like we all had babies at the same time. And just out of like the three of our kids, it was crazy how they were very close in age, but they all did things completely differently. Like my sister, whose son is only maybe 4 months older than Reagan, he just skipped crawling and rolling and he was similar to Nora, and he was a little chunky, and then
She's got a lot to roll over, that one.
Well, that's what we joked about, but I think it's true. Like, he was bigger, and, like, he was also a little less motivated because he was the youngest. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that played into it, but he basically skipped a lot of, like, those rolling and crawling, and then he was, like, 9-10 months old, and, like, he walked by one. So it was, like, in, like, the last few months of his first year, he just did everything really quickly. Whereas my girls were like the opposite, but they did everything earlier. And then, I don't know. I just think that by like 1.5, 2 years old, they all equal out at some point.
And I've heard that, but I'll tell you, nothing has ever made me so, I don't know if self-conscious is the word, more than being a mom. And because obviously this baby is like my heart walking around in the world. And, well, she's not walking or crawling or rolling.
Being
in the world, right. But nothing has ever made me feel this like, I don't know, worried, excited. Am I doing the right thing? Mm-hmm. Is she okay? Is she doing the right thing? Yeah. And then when you see other babies and they're doing something different, although you know in your head it's okay.
Right.
You still have this, I don't know, worry, not a fear, but just...
I think it's just like it is sort of a worry and it's like a protectiveness.
Yes.
It's like you just want like everything to be perfect and everything to go well and completely different than like developmentally, crawling or rolling. But I think once your kid gets a little older, like I have kind of had that like mama bear instinct kicked in. Like recently we were at Chick-fil-A and it was just like, from a distance, I could see that, like, someone wasn't being so nice.
Right.
And it
You're
was...
like, excuse me, I'll be right over.
Yeah, it made me, like, really want to get in there and be like, hey, like, what did she do to you? And Reagan's very spunky, so, like, she could hold her own, and who knows, she might have done something.
Yeah.
She might have, like, pulled their hair or done something not so nice on her own. But it just kicks in, and it's like you don't want anything bad to ever happen to your kid or for something to not be how you think it should be.
And that's it too, having an idea or some notion in your head about what something's going to look like. And then if it doesn't appear to be that way, I don't know, it can just be a little bit of a worry.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned in the beginning, Rachel, just talking about trying new things and all of the feelings that come along with that nervousness, I feel like that is such a huge part of being a mom is always something new and comparing yourself to other people even when you don't want to.
Yeah.
And something that comes to my mind is when I started to go to this moms group at my church for the first time. I'm a brand new mom and there are, I don't know, veteran moms sitting around me at this table.
Yeah, people that have like 4 kids, like that's a veteran mom.
They
like
know what they're doing.
And they got there before you. It's like I have one kid and I couldn't get out the door on time and somehow you got like four of your children together, got two of them to like two different schools, and somehow you're there and you made a casserole. Like, what is going on?
I was going to say, I was always the first one because I'm just really early, but
don't guilt me.
You're fine. I'm just saying I was the first one, but I did not have a casserole, and nor will I have a casserole in the future. But anyway, so just being around these moms, I had this immediate feeling of, I'm not doing this right. I don't know how to do this, or I'm missing something. And it was just this feeling that I had that I really struggled with, trying to figure out my place in all of this and trying to be confident in who I was, which was a mom to a 3-month-old, experiencing things I had never done before. And it was scary. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel like I have been in that place. I remember my first time coming to something like that. And it is, it's tough because you don't know what you're going to, I didn't know what to expect, like as a mom, like when my kids are taken care of, like when I get my child checked into nursery, like I had no clue like what the other women would be like as women, not just as moms. Like, what am I going to get out of this? Am I really going to connect with anybody? I didn't even know how like the whole thing was going to be facilitated, logistically, like where will I sit? And then I'm like, why am I worrying about where I'm going to sit? Like, I am going to be 30 years old.
No,
but
I know.
At the same time, I just think these are these little fears that we have our whole lives. And I think a lot of people, maybe you just get to an age where like you don't talk about it as much.
Right.
But I feel like once I did connect with people, once I made some other mom friends, it was like, okay, people let their guards down a little bit. I could let my guard down and realize that, we're all just kind of figuring it out as we go. And I think some people are just better at making it look like they have it all together.
And that's a good point you said, Rachel, about being a 30-year-old. We feel like we should have things figured out, or for some reason, because we're in our 20s or 30s, that means we're not going to have experiences that make us feel uncomfortable. And that's so far from the truth. Even, I've been in my same career for almost 10 years now, and I've been doing the same thing over and over again. But every year as a teacher brings about new challenges, new experiences. Yeah. And so I feel like you're never going to really be in a place where, I've got this figured out.
Yeah. I feel like as a teacher too, I mean, I'm not a teacher, but I'm just saying, thinking about your career as a teacher, for me, if I was a new teacher, I think I would be so intimidated, not just not by the kids. Maybe if it was like high school level, it would be a little intimidating. I could handle the elementary schoolers. I wouldn't feel as judged by them or, that type of fear. But parents, I think I would be really nervous as a new teacher dealing with parents. And you've probably got that down. And I think at the age your students are, it's probably not a big age difference. It's not like, the parents are all like older than me.
Yeah.
But that's something I always thought about. Like my friends that I went to school with that did teaching, like one of them did like high school math, a girl that was on my volleyball team. And I just remember thinking like, what the heck would I do with like high schoolers teaching math or dealing with like angry high school parents? And I'd just be like, I don't know, I'm only 22. Because when you start teaching, you're literally like 22, 23, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That phrase, fake it till you make it. And maybe that's true in my career and as a mom, that sometimes you have to tell yourself that you feel okay, you're more confident, and then hopefully eventually you'll catch up and you'll kind of hit your stride. But it can be challenging at first. So it's definitely a work in progress.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I believe it. I feel like fake it till you make it. It's funny you said that. Just because, I mean, maybe that's not the goal, but it is true. Like to some extent, I think if you feel more put together, if, you're dressed your best, if you get somewhere early and you just feel like you've brought your A game, it's easier to fake it if you think maybe you really don't have the best business, or you're not, I design websites. I'm not the best web designer in the whole world, but I do have those days where I'm like, well, you know what? I have a big meeting, so the best I can do is my best. I'm going to show up early. I'm going to do the things I need to do personally to make myself feel confident, because I think that's the biggest part of it. I think when we say fake it till you make it, a lot of that is just, portray the confidence that you need to show people that, maybe I'm not the big dog. Maybe I'm not an agency. I don't have 4 different people to work on your content and to provide the services to you that, one of those big companies would have. But you know what? I can show you what I can do for you. And sometimes I just have to sort of talk myself up a little bit. So I guess what I was trying to say is I think it is more of like a confidence thing. I think that's what a lot of that faking it is, because, you don't want to put anything out there that would be misleading to somebody. I think there does need to be a level of just authenticity. This is me, this is what I have to offer. But at the same time, you've got to talk yourself up. You have to be confident in the things that you do have to bring to the table. And, maybe you talk some people up that you've worked with before.
Well, or maybe even with your business, you really know how to surround yourselves with the right people who are going to be able to support you and help give guidance or insight. And that's a big part of it too. You may not always have all the answers or be, like you said, that huge business person who has all these accounts or clients, but you have such a support team around you that's going to help get you to where you want to be. And being authentic, even with our podcast, like
seriously,
we didn't know what we were doing when we started. We just kind of had an idea.
We really did. Oh my gosh. I feel like over the past week, like I've been busy with my own clients and things and juggling a lot with a sick kid right now. And I wanted so badly for all of this to work out and for the show to go live and for it to sound professional. And again, I think we were like both worrying about things that like we probably didn't need to worry about so much. But it's because if you put something out there, it's like you want it to be your best and, you're afraid people might judge you for it. But I think at the end of the day, it's just the fact that we did it. I'm really happy.
We did it.
And we figured a lot of stuff out. I mean,
I can't believe all this stuff you had to figure out.
Well,
oh my goodness.
I feel like you've been so helpful though with Christina's like the organized one who she like jots down our notes and kind of makes a plan of like what we're going to talk about. And then I just wing it. And so,
I'll let you figure all the technical stuff out. Like, even my husband teases me. I just feel like I'm not a good Googler. Like, if I try to Google how to do something, I just can't figure it out. And so the fact that you could figure all of that out about how to convert the files and do whatever.
Oh my gosh. Well, a lot of it's because I have done podcasting before. So I'm not completely new to knowing like where it should be posted and then how to share it from one place to another place. But yeah, I had no clue behind the scenes that, when you first set up your show, it takes a week or so for you to be approved on iTunes.
Which is a very good thing they have in place. I thought about that.
Yeah, no, it is.
Like when you said that, I'm like, you know what? Good for you, iTunes. Like reviewing the content, because if not, well, that's a can of worms.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my.
But I'm excited because we are in the review process. So hopefully our show, by the next time you guys are listening to this, the episodes should automatically be sent to iTunes, so you'll be able to find us there. We did just get like our Stitcher approval, but yeah, it was like a process submitting like the channel to all of these different places. And once you're approved, it's easy. It gets put one place and then it automatically just goes where it needs to go.
So even when then, I feel like my feeling that I currently have of, are people going to like this? Are people going to listen? Or is it going to work? Is going to continue because it just broadens our audience, which is good. And that was our goal. But something I just have to keep telling myself with all of these things that are new and scary to me is just doing it well, the best I can. And we both, I think, shared that sentiment of we may not be an expert at these things. I'm certainly not an expert at being a mom, but I just feel very feel very convicted to the fact that I can only do it the best I can. And I'm going to be the best mom to Nora that I can be, the best teacher that I can be, and the best podcaster. And some days your best looks a little different, but
no, I totally agree. I feel like there's really no other way to go about it. And if you can, give yourself the confidence that you need and present yourself the best you can, that's all you can do. And then I think if you just continue to learn, then you'll be awesome. I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned with having my own business and learning a lot as I go, just because whether you started web design yesterday or 5 years ago, things are always changing. So even if you were like really great at one thing, the next time you make a website, it might be a little different.
Yeah.
The process might have changed. So with certain things, I have just realized, if it's keeping up with a blog or taking the time to read a book here or there, you can't ever stop bettering your skill set.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
And we would even love to hear from you guys listening. Like, what is something that you're working on or trying to put your best foot forward for? Because something that I know for myself, just having friends around me who are in the same boat that say, listen, we're just figuring this out together, makes me feel so much better that I know I'm not alone. And hearing all the things like Rachel learns with her business and marketing and building her clientele is just really encouraging to me. And I'm not in that space at all. I do something completely different, but it's just a reminder that it's all a work in progress. And
oh, for sure.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can.
And I think you've just got to roll with some of the punches. There are times in my type of career, I don't have the luxury of a salary. So sometimes it's awesome and you think things are going great. And then, you know what? Maybe something changes. Maybe you just aren't the best fit for someone that you've worked with, and they want to go in another direction. Yeah. So for me, I'm like, oh no. But I swear, like every time I've been in a position that I've been a little nervous about changes, things have always changed for the better, or like one door closed and another truly opened. So I don't know. It's something that awesome. I just look back over the past couple years and I'm like, wow, like not that, thank the Lord, my husband has an awesome job and his own family business and all of that stuff. But, it's not like I was ever the breadwinner and like, oh my gosh, I lost a client and, we couldn't pay the bills. But I have been nervous. Like, I feel great because I do get to contribute. And, I count on the money that I do bring in for spending or, for putting it aside for our savings or whatever. And I don't know.
Fixing your roof in this store.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Put that money aside. You might need new shingles.
We do. There's like this massive storm happening right now. Well, I guess in this area, it's just like a wind storm. Is that a thing?
I'm going to make it a thing because it's really intense. I think it's like 60-mile-an-hour winds.
I guess it's like a nor'easter everywhere else except for this bubble of central PA here where we're not really getting any of the other effects.
The effects.
Yeah, we're just getting wind.
The snow.
Yeah, we're not getting snow. We're not getting rain. But shingles blew off of my house today. So that's why I work, guys. I got to pay for things.
When the wind takes your house away. I drove home today and I pull up in my driveway and I see a bit of, I don't know, the roof line. I'm on the phone with my husband when I pull up.
The fascia.
The fascia.
It's like the front part of your
Google
house.
that. Yeah. And so I don't know what it's called. So I just automatically tell my husband that the roof is flying off. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm going to park across the street. I don't want it to hit my car.
Note, Christine's house is literally like 2 weeks old.
2 weeks old. And
like they just moved in.
Which, it's just how the weather goes, right?
This weather is crazy. It wouldn't matter if your house is new or old. Like, we had trash cans blowing around our neighborhood. Oh, yes. There were branches down. What's crazy is that in our neighborhood, we lose power easily. Like, at least it seems that way. Like, in previous storms, like, I was really just waiting today for, like, the TV and internet and the power to go out.
Ours was
somehow,
flickering.
It was like the Hanukkah miracle. Like, I thought my internet would only last for, 10 more minutes. Like, I kept hearing the wind and was like, it's about to go out.
So your girls are watching the TV and all you're thinking is, it's a Hanukkah miracle.
Well, it was a miracle because somehow my internet, never went out. It lasted for, the whole afternoon, which is a miracle when you have
kids. And the next 7 nights after. Yeah.
I didn't mean that in a bad way. For anyone that's listening and celebrates Hanukkah,
I know what you mean. You're like,
offensive.
This is going to happen.
Yes. It was just amazing. I was really expecting it was I was going to lose internet. And then it kept
flickered
going.
a bit. But hopefully this wind dies down because it's definitely wreaking havoc on our neighborhood here. But
who will fix your roof?
Who will fix our roof?
Will your husband fix it?
Hopefully the builders. He did offer to go out there and, I don't know, rip the piece off because it was almost coming off. But I was kind of worried about him being up on a ladder in the wind and I don't know. Oh. He is very handy though. And one of the reasons I love him is because he is really good at looking stuff up on the Google. And he will figure out how to fix.
It is a skill.
Yes. And I'll be looking up something for 20 minutes. I'm like, babe, I can't find it. He looks it up. 5 minutes, here it is. Here's the answer.
Yeah, he's already watching the YouTube video and doing it.
I'm constantly amazed at how good he is at figuring out how to fix things, repair things. I don't know, the flapper on the toilet breaks or this piece of molding falls off or our roof blows off
I'm
in the
so
windstorm.
impressed.
He's so good. So who fixes your house? Who's getting up on the roof tomorrow
Oh my gosh.
to nail those shingles down?
Probably me. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll be praying for your safety.
It won't be me on the roof. But it probably won't be Kyle either. He is handy when he wants to be handy. But he has a very physical job.
I was going to say, he works really hard.
Yeah, he has a physical job. And because of the nature of his job, they have so many connections with other businesses and other laboring type of businesses.
Such
So,
a community of people that can come
yeah,
help.
so I feel like when it's something with the house or whatever, if it's plumbing or septic related, obviously he's going to handle it. But he's probably already got a roof person in mind or a handyman that he's we already had a couple other things to look at, so might as well have him come on out.
Have him stop at our house.
Yeah. But I feel like when we got married, that was something we really had to work at because my dad was really handy, and so I was like, what do you mean we're going to call someone to fix that?
Right.
You're not going to fix that? And I just had to accept that, you know what, it's okay if he doesn't want to fix it, or if he realizes that, that's going to take a little more skill than he has the ability for. He can recognize when something's, needs more attention.
My dad is super handy also, and I love that when he comes and does projects around the house, Robert's right there learning how to do something with him, and they now just do it together really seamlessly, which
that's awesome.
I'm very impressed with. Son-in-law,
and he's probably
father-in-law.
learned a lot from your dad.
Yeah, yes. My dad probably looks at me and just shakes his head. After 32 years, I don't know how much I've picked up from him. I may not have all of that inner drive to learn how to plumb and do electrical work. But
it's also hard when you have a baby, that needs your constant attention.
Right, but that was not my excuse for the first 30 years of my life. That was more of just, I'll hang out here with my mom and we'll watch NCIS.
I mean, I can't blame you. I would probably have rather watched NCIS too.
I know. So, Rachel, do you have any new things?
Yes, this
What's
is
your
our
new
favorite
thing?
time of the show. We share our new or our favorite things of the week.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, you share yours because you even brought yours.
I have a prop. So if you guys could see this, I'm holding one of my favorite makeup items, which makes me sound like I'm an expert or know a lot about makeup, and I don't. But anyway, I've gotten a few compliments lately on my eyebrows, and I use an eyebrow pencil, which I feel like makes a big difference. Some people are very much like a mascara girl. She's a mascara girl, always puts mascara on when she leaves, or I don't know. Someone
but I feel
needs
like
blush.
brows are also a thing that no one cared about brows 5 years ago.
They were underrated.
Now everybody cares about eyebrows. I've seen commercials. Revlon has a special eyebrow brush.
I feel like I became an eyebrow person just because it looked good to me, not because I was following up with popular culture.
Oh. I think I just never knew it would look good on me until it became popular. And then people start doing it and they're like, why didn't I do this before?
That's probably it. I can't take credit for it.
Maybe as a lighter haired person, I just never even thought about it. But I have a friend who's really blonde. She's in her mom's group.
Yes.
Anyway, she has really good eyebrows.
See, that's the thing.
And
you don't really realize it until someone else, you see their eyebrows and you're like, those are some beautiful eyebrows.
Because with having lighter eyebrows, I always thought it would look funny on me.
You need to try this.
And you showed me, yours is lighter.
Here it is, and I'm holding it. Well, this is a lifter part. I don't use that side. But anyway.
What do you mean lift?
I have no idea.
Does it give you archier
I'll look it up.
eyebrows?
I think so. Yeah, maybe.
So if you want to look angry, use this side.
If you want to look angry, use one side. If you want to look normally and beautiful. Anyway, so ELF, which is eyes, lips, face, their brand of makeup.
I always thought it was ELF.
I know, I did too, but now I've started to say ELF, so I sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Well, I know about the PJ Masks.
But I can't.
You know about ELF.
I still can't believe ELF. I still can't believe that. And what I like about ELF makeup is that it's really inexpensive. So if you didn't know what color you were, you could try one. And
that's
if
great.
it doesn't work out, it's not breaking the bank.
But it lasts? You don't put your hand on your head and
I don't.
Your eyebrows are uneven or one of them is
And what
angry.
I like about this pencil is that it's you can kind of play around with it once it's on your eyebrows or smudge it in. Okay. And I got it from Target, and I'm pretty sure, don't hold me to this, but I've tried some makeup before from Target and returned it and told them I tried it before, and they still took it back because it wasn't the right color. So, yeah.
I never even would have thought about doing something like that.
Well, I was kind of nervous about it.
That's my mistake.
When I had to be honest, I was like, yes, I did use it, and they took it back. And so that is good for me because I used to go to Sephora because they would try it on you.
And that's
it was
so
just
expensive.
It's expensive. So I really recommend the ELF, any of their makeups, but eyebrow pencil,
Woo woo.
new thing.
So my new thing isn't like a tangible thing, but we were talking about just how great it is to connect with other people, whether it's people that you can talk to mom life about or work and bounce ideas off of people. And this past week, some days I'll work from the coffee shop, or sometimes I work in the office where I subcontract. And one of the days this week, I told one of the girlfriends from my mastermind group, like, I think I'm going to be at this place. And she was like, we should totally just go work together, because she
That's so
also
nice.
like works from home. And it was great. We just spent the morning at Copper Cup and we both got a ton of work done. Shout out Copper Cup in Lancaster.
Delicious breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was there like all day, so I feel like I
Delicious.
just had like the menu sampler.
Breakfast, lunch sandwiches.
And you can also just pay for a coffee refill instead of just buying
Nice.
like $4 coffees all day. So that was great too. But it was just nice having someone to kind of chit chat with a little bit when you do need like a mental break, because I can really just zone out and like be in my computer. But then it's easy to get burnt out that way. There's times where I'm like, okay, I've been doing solid work for like 3 hours, and I don't know if I'm just trained in like 3-hour increments, because like that's how long my kids like nap for.
You probably are.
So I'm just used to kind of like powering through it, because that might be the only time I have to work that day.
Yeah.
But no, it was great to just be able to get ideas, kind of share what we were,
That's so
dealing
nice.
with. Yeah, and just chit chat with somebody who's also, needing somebody to chit chat with. So it was great, because I know that like it was helpful to her and to me. So
Well, hopefully that continues. I
yeah.
feel like
So
that's
my
really
new
good for
thing
you.
is finding a work buddy. I guess that's what I would call it.
Yeah.
Whether you work from home or maybe you get out of the house a couple days a week and, use somebody else's Wi-Fi, find a buddy. Like, seriously, like, just put it on Facebook and be like, hey, anyone want to meet me here?
And that's what I like about social media. It can really bring people together and makes it okay just to say, hey, let's connect, let's find a spot, go together.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be someone you're, like, BFF with.
Yeah.
Maybe it would just be great to, if you do work from home. I think sometimes we can really isolate ourselves, especially before I had kids. Like, I remember there were days that, like, I was in my pajamas until 2 p.m. because I just woke up, I started working on something, and then...
PJ Mask in the house here. Gotta get out.
But seriously, I don't know. If you work from home, maybe you can relate to those days where you're just like, I need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And then when you have kids, there's days where you're like, I just need to talk to a grown-up.
Absolutely.
So, get out, work with somebody this week, and try some eyebrow pencil. Let us know what you think.
ELF, let's see your pics.
Yeah, and have a great week, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Hey, moms. We would love to connect with you this week on social media.
You can find us on Instagram at The Thrive Podcast, or email us at thrivepodcastlancaster@gmail.com.
For more information on Rachel, you can follow her at Rachel Klein Creative.
And you can get to know Christina a little better at The Whistler Company. We would love to get to know you guys better, and we are always looking for new topics and ideas.